Friends, this is the story of a helpless woman whose husband dies in a tragic accident. After his death, her in-laws throw her out of the house. She goes to her brothers. But they also say, "We can barely manage our own expenses. How can we take care of you?" And just like that, the woman is left alone. No home, no money, no support. In the end, she is forced to open a small roadside food stall on the highway just to cover her basic food expenses and to have a small place to stay. But one evening, a truck stops at her stall. The driver comes to eat, but when he sees the woman, he says something shocking. "I stopped here for food, but I like you. Take the full price of this entire stall. Just spend one night with me." The woman refuses. She tries to stop him, but the cruel man forces his demand, and before leaving, he drops a large amount of money in front of her. The woman stands there in shock. She thinks, "I work for 2 months and still don't earn this much. And here in just 5 minutes, I got all this money?" Now the real question is, which path did she choose? Poverty, or the temptation that could completely change her life ahead? Come, let's listen to the full story today. Rani's life changed suddenly the day Shankar, her husband and the only support of the house, died in a terrible accident. One dusty, exhausting night erased her home's warmth, her peace, and her future. Even at her mother's home, she did not find real support. Her brother looked worried, but his words were cold. "We are also struggling, sister. You must find your own way now." Her in-laws treated her even more harshly. Fearing the bad name of having a young widow at home, they shut the door on her. Rani sat quietly in a corner. She wanted to cry, but tears were not going to change anything. In her heart, she heard a small voice trying to gather her broken courage. "Live on your hard work, not on anyone's mercy." That night, she held Shankar's unfinished dream close to her heart. The small roadside food stall he always talked about. Rani thought, "If Shankar were alive, this is exactly what he would tell me to do." She was alone now, but her eyes carried determination. At home, she cooked a little flour into purees with some vegetables. With 2 plates, 1 pot, and 1 spoon, she decided to sit beside the highway. Dozens of trucks passed there every day. Long-distance travelers, vendors, and tired people who stopped for a break. The first day was painfully hard. Many people just stared. Some even mocked her. One truck driver made dirty comments and left. Rani's hands turned cold. The plate almost slipped. She sat under a tree and cried her heart out. It wasn't just physical exhaustion. It was the cruelty of society cutting into her soul. Is working honestly also something to be ashamed of now? She kept asking herself. That same day, a small ray of light entered her life. Maybe courage, maybe God's mercy. And that light was Ravi, a tired, long face but eyes filled with honesty. Without hesitation or judgment, he took her plate, ate peacefully, paid her, and began to leave. Before walking away, he said, "People may think whatever they want, but God always listens to those who work hard." That one smile breathed new strength into Rani. She wiped her tears and sat again by the stove the next morning. A tiny flame of hope had been lit in her heart. Rani improved her work in small, thoughtful ways. She woke up early each day, bought cheap vegetables from the market, and managed her expenses wisely. She learned how to earn more with less, how to keep everything clean, and how to cook that simple, homely taste that made customers feel comforted. Slowly, her food gained a reputation along the highway. Every day, someone or another stopped to eat. But the real turning point came when Ravi returned, this time with his fellow drivers, and he offered Rani a way to grow her little stall even further. "From tomorrow, make more food. I'll even arrange a proper cart for you," Ravi said. Fear and gratitude rose together in Rani's heart. She knew depending on someone was risky, but timely help can also become a blessing. They began running the cart together. Ravi told a few of his fellow drivers to support Rani, to buy a little food regularly and build trust in front of others. People praised her cooking too. "The taste is good. Feels like home." Slowly, Rani's income started increasing, and she managed to pay off some small debts. She made small improvements, replaced the old stove, bought a few utensils, and arranged cheap firewood from a nearby village. But society's poisonous gossip kept rising like thorns in her path. Some people, out of jealousy, whispered, "What's honorable about a woman staying among truck drivers?" Rumors began to spread. Her in-laws' cunning attitude and the villagers Misunderstandings turned into a conspiracy. One day, a few people staged a scene near her cart so that false accusations could spread against her. A couple of her in-laws arrived, overturned the cart, broke her utensils, and filed a police complaint saying Ronnie was a bad woman. The police didn't take the matter seriously for a few days, but society's judgment surrounded her from all sides. She locked herself in her room and cried for 2 days, but inside those tears she also found her strength again. On the third day, the same Ronnie picked up her empty cart and went back to the highway. Courage and patience were clearly visible on her face. That very day, when she was fighting exhaustion, from a distance the same truck approached. Ravi stepped down and Ronnie's eyes filled with tears. She ran toward him, then collapsed from fatigue. "People are lying about me, Ravi. I did nothing wrong." Her voice trembled. Ravi didn't say much. He simply lifted the cart back up, handled the people around, and quietly said, "This cart will not stay here anymore. I've already arranged a new place for you." This was his trust. Fewer words, more action. Within 3 days, Ravi repaired a small, closed-down roadside dhaba near Narmadapur. With help from his fellow drivers, he cleaned it up and brought the kitchen back to life. The dhaba was small, but for Rani it was a new beginning, a place where she could earn her livelihood with dignity. The dhaba's new start gave Rani new confidence. The first few weeks were slow, but Ravi's old acquaintances praised the dhaba, and slowly customers began to return. Rani named it Rani Dhaba and poured love and sincerity into every plate. People appreciated her hard work, but where success arrives, jealousy follows too. Someone spread a rumor that Rani and Ravi were more than just friends. It attacked her reputation. Some suspicious people of Narmadapur, a few old acquaintances, and 2 or 3 drivers who had hinted earlier. They chose the path of conspiracy again. One night, a neighbor filed a false complaint, claiming Ravi misbehaved with her. By the next morning, a case was registered. The police arrived, took action, and Ravi was taken into custody. When Rani heard the news, it felt like lightning had struck her. Rani received the news that Ravi was in jail, and people even claimed that he had confessed. But Rani trusted her own judgment and the honesty she had always seen in his eyes. She knew Ravi was innocent. She traveled to Bhagalpur and began investigating the case herself. Behind the cold walls of the jail, Ravi looked broken, but the same clear truth was still in his eyes. Even in fear and uncertainty, his honesty remained. Rani refused to give up. She used her dhaba earnings, sold a few small pieces of jewelry, borrowed money from friends, and hired a lawyer. The case was extremely difficult. Witnesses changed their statements, evidence disappeared, and some people were ready to lie for money. But Rani refused to step back. She met people, searched for the truth, and gathered small witnesses who were willing to stand by what really happened. At every court hearing, one look at Ravi's face gave her strength. After several weeks of legal struggle, the statements of the false witnesses began to contradict each other. Camera footage surfaced, and a few honest people's testimonies changed the direction of the case. Slowly, the truth began to come out. It became clear that the entire case was a trap, a conspiracy of jealousy and revenge by a few local people who could not tolerate Rani's growing income and rising respect. Finally, the court declared that Ravi was innocent. By then, Rani had already lost a lot: money, damaged equipment, and the pain of society's accusations. But justice restored her courage. When Ravi walked out of the jail, Rani was standing outside the dhaba waiting for him. Their eyes met, and both understood each other's strengths and vulnerabilities. For Ravi, Rani had not only fought the case, but had risked her self-respect and her hard-earned savings. After Ravi's release, the dhaba felt like a new beginning. People were praising the place again, but both knew that praise alone does not run a life. Rani worked day and night to repay the remaining debts, buy new utensils, and refill the kitchen supplies. Ravi also helped, using his small savings and getting support from his friends, to repair and maintain the dhaba. Their relationship had now changed. It was no longer just friendship. It had grown into a deep trust. One day, Ravi finally gathered the courage to speak his heart. "I have always respected you, but I never had the courage to say it. I care for you." Rani smiled and replied, "The honesty you showed through every test life gave us, that is what matters the most to me. But every happiness has another side as well." Society's old thinking still existed. Some people still refused to believe. that Ronnie and Ravi's bond was built on honesty and trust. These rumors pushed them into new struggles. Calls from the bank about loans, shortage of supplies for the Dhaba, and sometimes the worry of Ravi reaching late at night. Ronnie learned that real success needs patience, discipline, and understanding of the community. She paid attention to small details: affordable but good food, special parathas for children, quick takeaway meals for truck drivers. Ravi also set up a small repair stall outside the Dhaba. So truck drivers could benefit and continue visiting Ronnie's place. Slowly, Ronnie Dhaba became a known name, a place where travelers found homely food and respect. Together, Ronnie and Ravi repaired their bond with understanding, warm smiles, and a shared commitment to work. They knew relationships are not carried by ego, but by maturity and care. Ronnie began to value her small moments of joy. A customer's compliment lit up her face. A mother's grateful smile made her feel that all her hard work was finally paying off. Ravi also learned that true expression does not come from speaking big words, but by standing beside someone every single day. With time, Ronnie Dhaba became more than just a shop. It became a symbol of trust, dignity, and hard work. People ate there and shared the story of how a widow protected her honor, how a true friend stood by her, and how justice won in the end. Those who once pointed fingers at Ronnie were now praising her food and honesty. Ronnie and Ravi celebrated small festivals together, decorating the Dhaba with rangoli on Diwali, making traditional dishes on Holi, and preparing special meals for customers' children. During school holidays, they even hired a few local youngsters, so some homes in the village could earn a living without depending on others. It was their small contribution to the community. Within a few years, the Dhaba grew strong enough to face new challenges. Ronnie then decided that she no longer wanted to grow only for herself, but also for widows and struggling people who had no support. With this thought, they set up a free meal corner in one part of the Dhaba. Any hungry traveler could get one free meal a day. At first it was difficult, but many customers and truck drivers joined hands and contributed regularly. Soon this initiative became respected across the village, and people began supporting it together. And love slowly showed its face too. One day Ravi said gently, "Everything we lost and everything we gained together, it all made me realize that the biggest reward in my life is you. Will you be my life partner?" Tears of happiness filled Ronnie's eyes. She said, "When you protected my dignity and stood beside me, I already knew you were the one I would choose. Yes, hey, let's walk this life together." Their relationship was no longer a private joy. It had become an example for the community, a reminder that with honesty, hard work, and dignity, every hardship can be defeated. For many years, Ronnie Dhaba continued to grow. New travelers came with new stories. People found employment, and a small positive change spread through society. Ronnie gathered her painful memories, but those same memories made her stronger. She created a path for others. Ronnie and Ravi's story became proof that when a person protects their dignity, no test of time can defeat them. Honesty and hard work never fail.